Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 26 of AUSHAMMER. Tonight, you've got myself, the real Bryn Shady, joined by Scotty. Give us a shout out.
Hey.
Dave, the man himself.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And our special guest, Mr. Armoured Digital himself, Chris. How you going, buddy?
How are you?
Good, man. It's been a pretty crazy week. We're glad to have a Kickstarter on the show. We've been wanting to use our considerably gigantic swing in the wargaming community to promote the up and coming title. So when you're rich and famous, we can come to your store at Adepticon and get free shit. But
And like I say, it's fantastic to talk to people in roughly the same time zone as myself, even though you guys don't adhere to daylight savings.
Yeah, we don't believe in it. It's just a simple belief system. We just don't care.
Yeah.
You do you, but we won't have any of that.
It's all mandatory fun down here.
It's all mandatory fun down here. Oh man. So, just quickly, you've begun creating and you're working on a Kickstarter for a game called Armoured Digital, and it's been, how long have you been working on it for?
So I've been working on this for about the last 18 months. The last 12 months of that has just been on the play balance and testing. Before that, it was just the rules were developed up to about 80-90% of where they are now. And since then, yeah, we've just been getting everything really tight, really settled, so we know where it is.
Man, that's really cool. Do you do much hobby in your spare time? I know you've got 2 kids, yep. I believe. And so obviously you're a very, very busy person. I understand. I have 2 kids of my own. Do you get much hobby done?
Not nearly enough, of course, but I get enough time to play this. Unfortunately, I've had to put all the other games that I usually play aside. So at the moment, if I wasn't a parent, I'd probably be playing Team Yankee and Star Wars Armada at the same time and probably getting into Legion. Not so much.
Yeah, man. No, that's good. That's really cool. I mean, obviously, we can't wait to see what you create, and so the time that you're sacrificing on this stuff is going to be amazing. We're going to get to more on what you're doing later in the show. First up, we're going to kind of just crap on about what we do for hobbies. So, Scotty, what have you been doing in hobby?
Still putting together Hellblasters. Picked up another box. So I've got about 20 now. Once they're done, I'll be happy.
Are they just the snap fit ones? They just come in 2 pieces and you just press them together?
No, they're painful, and they're actually not too bad. There are parts that they give you ample frustrations. I don't know why they put some pieces the way they have, but
so you bought the adult set. You bought the big boy ones, not
I bought the big boy one.
Oh, yeah, good.
So about halfway through that. Oh, and the Barley Tattoo.
Oh yeah, your Barley Tattoo. How's it healing up? It's
actually going pretty good. It's
good.
Yeah, it's looking good. I didn't show you guys the other one because I went.
I'm not really. What is that?
Dude, that's Link.
Oh, it's Link. There we go. I wasn't sure. My camera's terrible, and it's like a pixelated picture on a pixelated.
It's actually 8-bit, so it is pixelated.
It is. Your tattoos all blurry, man. What's going on? Fix your graphics card. You're lagging.
But apart from that, still haven't got around to getting any isopropyl for the Storm Raven.
Dude, it's at Bunnings. Go to Bunnings.
Yeah, I know, man. It's just I drive past it and I forget, and then I get home. I'm like, I need to do.
You can order it online as well, like eBay.
Still makes no difference. I'm still late. Makes no difference.
It's relevant.
But yeah, I think that's about all hobby for me for this week. Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. Dave, you been up to anything hobby wise?
I've done pretty much sweet FA this week, apart from add more to the grey pile of plastic stuff I got. So
plastic crack for the crack god.
I've got a real problem. I'll get there. Got the Deathwatch. Yeah, Deathwatch Watchmaster, which, funnily enough, given they're getting the codex, that was probably good timing on my part. The first time.
Until you realise it just nerfed him completely, and then he's just worthless.
Probably, but I'm more excited about this guy.
Oh, it just flips it out of nowhere. Plop that big green monster out on the table for us. Love it.
I don't know what to do with him. I'm not going to take him out of the box just yet.
I would definitely suggest a few things. a doorstop maybe. Like,
Yeah, there's that too.
I thought I was going to use the Forge World chunk of resin as a doorstop, and it's certainly heavy enough. But I don't know. I'm open to suggestions whether or not I need to do him as Roddy, or if I should do him up as the support Great Unclean one with the bow and flail or something or other. I've got no ideas yet, so he's staying in the box for probably another week.
Till you figure it out.
Oh, that's pretty good. All right, well, Dave, bring up the pictures. I'll show you what I've been doing.
I was going to say, I'll bring up your photos of what you're doing.
My crazy Instagram. The thing that I don't have a photo of is that my youngest decided to see if my Forge World Thunderbolt could fly.
Oh, no.
And it flew really well. It flew like a good 2-3 meters right into the dining table. And I'll give it credit to the person who put it together, because I didn't put it together. I bought this secondhand. They actually had pinned everything. So it, aside from like a little tail flap, it held together like a 3.5-year-old just like launching it across a living room. If that isn't advertising for Forge World product, I don't know what is. Like,
well, that's one good thing apart from all the bitching we hear about having to use a hairdryer to get resin back into shape and stuff. So
the wings were pretty bad. I put the wings in. They were all bent. They were all munted to start with. I put them in hot water, and they just turned into like plastic spaghetti. It was like I thought I'd destroyed it completely, but just pulled it. It looks so unstable. It's just like literally just like waving in the water, and you're like, holy shit.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so if you're gonna work with resin, hot water is great. Hair dryers, so not too much. Can everyone see the pretty Primaris Librarian, or is it just me? Are we sharing? You are sharing.
Lock it on if you can, Brynley. This is one awesome looking model, buddy.
There we go. Yeah, okay, so I just did, so this one's for the client. As everyone knows, I'm working slowly, punching my way through a very large Primaris army. This little librarian I managed to finally kick together. I had a bit of a painter's block for a while there, and it took sitting down and actually working on some of my own miniatures for once to get through it and all. So that's the Primaris Librarian, pretty cool. And then I did a little bit of work on this guy here. So working on my Imperial Guard Mordant Acid Dogs.
Bring that up.
Took a pretty long time to try and get. Is it up?
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Took a pretty long time to actually get the color scheme right, because I want to do a lot of weathering, a lot of other crazy stuff with it. But in the same sentence, like I've got 60 of the basic infantry to do, so I have to weigh up aesthetics to how many hours do I want to spend per miniature. So it's been pretty good. It's been pretty fun. You guys can see more of my crap on my Instagram if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a very good hobby week after a week of not really doing much at all.
Not really, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty dry. I'm just like, but then you get back into it and you're like, oh, I love painting. And so good to go. Definitely doing. Oh yeah, holy crap. Okay, so for those of you who are north side, there's this little there was a trade fair up in Petrie Old Town. It's like this really old town from like the 1800s, and they've kind of kept it all together and all working, and they've got like steam engines, all the stuff for the kids. And I found this,
sawmill and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
man, like it was amazing. First time I'd been there. I've lived in this area for like 3 years. First time I'd been there, and there was this dude selling like these little 15mm miniatures that he makes himself. He's like, oh yeah, I just make them and paint them there. I'm just like, oh, how much? He's like, oh, $1 each. I'm just like, give me all the things.
Yeah.
The wife's just like, you can have 2. I'm like, oh no.
Oh. Yeah, it comes at $50 a night. Oh.
Oh. But yeah, so yeah, I thought, I mean, I'm a little worried now because I thought they were really cool. It's a sure sign of middle age when a wargamer starts getting into historical 15mm.
Don't you dare. Don't. Next you'll be wearing like jackets and button, like growing your beard out and
trillbillies and all this other stuff, and
just stop.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I mean, keep watch on this area. I might turn into like a crazy secluded middle-aged man. Obsessed with my 15mm figures and war history. It'll happen. It'll happen. It happens to all of us.
It just happens in an instant. Like one day you're 40k iOS, next minute neck beard.
It's
Yeah.
all over. That's it. No social skills. Everything's just gone straight down the
Nothing.
drain. All right. Well, okay. That's me talking about hobby. Do we want to do guess that booty or do you want to do news?
Let's do news.
Let's do
Then we'll
news.
do guess that booty, and then we'll jump into talking with Chris.
Yeah. So I mean, as everyone knows, news has been like Adepticon's come and gone. It's been pretty friggin' massive. We've been fortunate enough to have correspondents over on the other side of the water with us, with some amazing photos that they've been able to send through of all the shenanigans that have been going on at Adepticon.
Smashed this week with just pictures of anything and everything.
Oh,
it's been insane, absolutely.
Like people playing just random stuff, like all this really insane stuff that's been going on.
I've seen a couple of movies or film clips of all the vendors area as well, and it is just massive.
Yeah.
Like everyone from everywhere just comes to spout their stuff, which is really cool. But I just didn't realize how massive and how many vendors would have got there. It
would have been huge when we had Uncle Adam on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he was going to be there. I'm pretty sure Greg McNeil and I'm pretty sure Dan Amnett were both there as well. So that would have been pretty exciting. Very interesting.
I know Duncan Tooth in Coats was doing some workshops there and doing some painting tutorial classes and stuff. Like, it's pretty big.
Doing some massive stuff. Oh, so speaking of Dan Amnett, for those of you who won prizes last week, we haven't sent your prizes yet. They're actually on their way. We've just got to sign some special certificates for you guys, which requires all 4 of us to get into one place and actually
to pull our finger out.
Yeah, we've actually got to get around and do it. But rest assured, your prizes are on the way. So don't go freaking out that your limited edition Dan Amnett goodies have been forgotten or stolen by the mailman.
Stamped book. My goodness.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna. Who won that one? Who won the book?
I think it was Gruffalo. I think
so. I think that's.
I can go back and look anyway.
Grant Griffio, or
yeah.
Congratulations again to you, Dan Amnett's very proud to have had quite a chuckle at your terrible joke. You should be proud and ashamed of yourself.
For bad jokes, it was really good. Like
for a terrible joke, yeah, it was really good. Oh man! All right, so let's get on to it. Let's get on to all the crazy stuff that's been happening this week in the news. Take us away, Scotty.
Okay, so my biggest semi-horn was the combat roster announced from G-Dub. Even though it's based on power level, I'm still all about it. If they're going to do power level, they'll eventually do points, whether it's another step where it's a pay-to-play for the points system. I don't care. I'm going to be all over it. I'm so chomping at the bit for this. Second, these are sort of all out of order where, just as they've come. We've had the Idoneth Deepkin models. We've seen pictures of those, which are, underwater elves of sorts. In saying that, the models,
they're looking amazing, man. Like
the models are cool. You cannot say anything but these models look cool. Like people have bitched and bleated and whinged. Oh, I don't like this. It doesn't. Who cares? The models look cool.
We got Dave Mass sharing to everyone. Models are seriously next level. Like, man, I'm so excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've had
the AOS card game, AOS Champions, come out. For all you Age of Sigmar lads, I guess that's going to be cool for you guys. I'm not particularly into Age of Sigmar. It's another thing, but as a card game, as a CCG, it looks cool. So what have we got up there? Okay, so this is Adepticon. This is all the tables and stuff from Adepticon.
How good does that look, seriously? Just on a moment, just appreciate how good that table looks.
Yeah.
That is a damn hot table. Oh,
I want that for my Nurgle.
That's so good.
Can you imagine that? All pus falling on snow and just making it look filthy? Yeah.
Filthy snow.
Also, GW have released the independent event exclusive miniatures. So this is basically anyone who isn't any tournament organisers that aren't affiliated with Games Workshop directly, they can actually have miniatures specific for their tournament. Like I said, Adepticon, you know, things like hopefully CanCon in Australia would fall under that. So, you know, there would be scope for us to get our hands on some of them. They also, in relation to shipping, ordering online, they've actually split the shipping. So if you've ordered made to order models and in some off the normal off the shelf sort of line, you would have to wait for them both to be all ready and then ship. Where now they're splitting it, where off the shelf will go straight away, and then, you know, the made to order will come later. Which is really, really good, because I remember ages ago I ordered 2 Catachan Command Squads and Chimeras, and then I ordered a made to order Necromunda dude to, like, just for like a special character. Yep. I'm still waiting. Still waiting. I'm still waiting. Still waiting. GW. We've got a new Nagash model, which is basically like Coughing, I think it is, from Pokemon. Big, spiky, purple looking thing. Have we got a picture of it? It looks. I'm not sure if we've got a picture of it, but yeah. It's like the games designers were running out of ideas, and then the Pokemon Marathon. Yeah, absolutely. And they're like, oh, hey, let's do this. Mind you, I think if anything's going to look like everything, I mean, it suits Nagash. It's a giant ball of hot air, so it's good to go. Also true. So we've had the Necron stuff come out. You know, the Start Collecting box and the Codex and all that sort of stuff. We saw the 3 new codexes announced: the Imperial Knights, Harlequins, and Death Watch. Have we got pictures of the new Knights to throw up? I think David's got a couple there. Dave's on it. Our media man. Yeah, a new full Imperial Knight model announced. Oh, look at that! Look at that knight! Oh, giant plasma cannon thing. Look at it! There it is. That's Castellan there. That's hot. I like that. Now, the March 40K FAQ was supposed to release now. Yeah, actually. It was. It's actually supposed to be out now. It's supposed to be. I checked just before we went live, and it still wasn't up yet. So you might see it later tonight. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be pretty exciting. We'll be able to see how quickly the Tau Codex has been nerfed. You know, the guys will be back up to 500 points apiece, and all the salt in the butt hurt. Yeah. Leave my fish people alone. I mean, I could just go play. You play AOS now. I've had rumors of Kroot Codex to come out, so you just stay in your corner. Yeah. And love my Kroot. Love my Kroot. They better bring a Kroot Codex out. I've got so much Kroot I want to play. Oh, don't even. Giant piles of Kroot, like 60. It's just going to be fodder. It is really, isn't it? It's just fodder. It's just gonna be orcs, but it's gonna be orc codex, except every time they say orc, it's just gonna be Kroot. Kroot, yeah. That'll be it. What's the next one? Okay, so the Chaos Space Marine update was confirmed. That was a rumor that I put out, I think it was last week, and I was pretty excited, and they have actually confirmed that there is Chaos Space Marine updates coming model-wise. It's going to be awesome. Exciting. A bit of chaos going on. And then the last big one for Adepticon from Games Workshop was Plastic Sisters. Love it. Yes, massive news. I was talking to a guy who was sitting in the GW, what was it called, like a conference thing, the production conference where they released all the new stuff, and Second Sisters of Battle, and just like, oh my god, Plastic Sisters everywhere. Yep. But there are apparently pictures of actual Plastic Sisters. I haven't seen them yet. You haven't seen them either. But that's entirely possible. Well, apparently there are ones floating around at Adepticon, so I haven't seen anything yet though. But no, me neither. They'd just be wrapping up now, wouldn't they? Yeah, they would be actually. Yeah, 20 to 25. So they would have just been wrapping up now. So yeah, our 26th is their 25th, sort of. So yeah, today was basically their last day. But those sisters are going to be available 2019 from what they've said.
2019.
I can, yeah, 2019. I can just see once they do releases, it's just going to be tables and tables of sisters just because.
Just because.
Just because.
Just for Pentas and.
Yeah.
Man, I read some really bizarre articles, like about sisters. Actually, they were just written by some very strange people. There's some very strange ideas as to how the sisters should look, and I don't want to go into detail, but I definitely disagree.
Yeah.
with a lot of the strange stuff that was flying around.
Was it neckbeardy? Was it?
It was very neckbeardy.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
just shut up. We don't. No one cares.
Yeah.
They're gonna release plastic sisters. You're gonna buy them, and then we're all gonna play against them.
Yep.
There's nothing that matters.
They're plastic, and you got what you wanted. So shut up.
Yeah, it's better than the squats. We haven't seen any squats. Oh, we just reset the clock. Damn it! Oh well.
Yeah, that's it. Reset.
Could be worse. It could be new Ultramarine release. There's going to be so many people rushing out to buy these sisters. Games Workshop better be prepared.
Yeah.
If you know what, if Sisters of Battle becomes a new flagship of 40k, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for that crap. I'll be all over it.
It'll take the focus off Space Marines for a little while.
Space Marines and the Primaris.
Yeah.
Primaris. I mean, God, there are so many good memes about that.
Dude, I'll still be floating around with my Hellblasters, just plasmering the shit out of everything. So
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll probably still be painting this Imperial Fist Army, 2019. Oh God! If I get to 2019 and I'm still painting this, we're gonna have to replay this so I can cry. Yeah, it's been something happened with Death. Something happened with Death. Something big AOS-y happened with Death. Does anyone remember?
I don't. I've only got the Idoneth Deepkin in there. So.
Yeah, no, Death are all in the match because you've got the malign portents that's coming in, the realms of Shaiish coming out of there. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of rumors coming out. There's a lot of things coming out. Death players, I know Ryan's still pretty keen on the whole Nagash thing. I want to see his take on the new model.
Be easy to paint.
Yeah. It'll be fantastic. Just dip here. Just
give it some purple.
Yeah, see, just throw something. Just duck it in this. It'll be fine. Just wash it down. It'll be great. But the biggest thing I took out of it going, I've honestly been wondering if the Black Coach is going to make a reappearance.
Oh, we can only hope. And maybe some like half-decent vampire models.
Yeah, they need a redo. Like if Games Workshop are going to redo anything for Age of Sigma, and they're on the Death train at the moment, I'd love to see them put out some new Death models, redo the vampire counts.
Oh yeah.
Redo the von Carstein vampires, actually make them look like the family.
Plastic blood knights. My God, that'd be amazing.
But bring back the Black Coach and. Those rolling skeleton zombie mobs, just 9th Age fantasy style, roll them in.
Oh.
That'd be really good. No, I love it. No, that is really cool. Thank you. Thank you for an amazing support for AOS, because you're the person to do it now.
There's going to be a whole bunch more coming. You've got the Plastic Sisters, and they're trying to match the level of gravity with Plastic Sisters. They just have to say, here's AOS, just go nuts, guys, have fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, the cards, they've got the cards coming out. They've got some totally not Magic the Gathering cards that are going to be popping out real soon. It's going to be a collectible card game. In collectible card games with collectible miniatures, it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, the augmented reality, the collectible cards, it's a pretty awesome concept. We're going to see how they do it. Honestly, hoping they're going to get the support behind it with Play Fusion and get a really good partnership going there, so that when they do launch it, it's going to hopefully have that ongoing support. I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit of a fanboy at the moment. I'm waiting for it to come out. I have pulled out all the old Magic and Pokemon cards, trying to organise them, trying to get the little card system all in place behind me. So I'm super excited for this.
Oh man, you're more committed than I am. I sold my Magic the Gathering collection years ago, and I haven't really looks back. But I am definitely keen to see. I mean, anything Games Workshop release is going to be pretty exciting. I'm going to be definitely keeping an eye on it. I remember when Warhammer 40k Conquest came out, which was a card game for 40k, and that was pretty cool. I mean, it kind of died out, but that's because people got a little too competitive in my local area with it. But that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think look, if there's obviously heaps and heaps and heaps of other stuff, but we've actually got other stuff to do on the show tonight.
We do actually.
If you guys want to learn about what's happened at Adepticon, by all means, there are some really amazing YouTube channels out there that you can go and check out, who have covered it quite adequately. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on tonight. We're gonna move on to local. Oh yeah, let's do Guess That Booty.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, I hope you're ready. I hope you've been looking at classic butts all day, because it's a pretty exciting game. So Guess That Booty is a simple creation where we show you plastic butts and you try and guess the miniature behind it. Yeah, it's not terribly difficult. Remember, the rules are made up and the points don't matter. It's pretty much whose line is it anyway for plastic butts. Currently,
have you got your new pen, not your crayon this time? You got your new pen yet?
I can't find my crayon. I've got a feeling one of my kids has nicked it. But I've got a handy dandy pencil, just chilling out. So just quickly, we'll read out the leaderboard. So at the moment, in first place, we have Sophie, hobbyist girl herself, on 5 points. And then on 4 points, we have Gav Thorpe. And then on 3 points, we have Uncle Adam. And then 2 points, we have a tied place. So 2.5 between Gray McNeil and oh man, you know what? I can't remember what his name is.
Oh really?
Yeah, the other guy. Anyway.
That guy.
Anyway, we got all the way down the bottom. We've got Dan Abnett and Mark from BrizCon on 1.5 points. So you can get more than 5, you'll be kicking it. So here's the first one. What do you reckon it is? Actually, yeah, Scotty, you can take him through it. I'm just going to mark stuff.
Okay, so we've got. Guess That Birdie.
I guess some sort of Primaris Marine.
Ooh.
You don't get on track.
Yeah, you get it. It's not quite a point, but you get.
Which one in particular? Which one takes your fancy? There's a little bit of a clue.
Oh.
Looks like some sort of flight stand.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
He's on it.
Makes me wish I'd stayed up with 40k, but I got out an edition ago.
Give it to him, David.
Let's go with the Interceptor.
Oh, is that
sounds like a Games Workshop-y type word.
Hey, is that right? Is that an Interceptor?
That's one.
That's one for one. So
one for one.
The record.
That's it. Ready for number 2.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go. Oh, that's disgusting.
There's a disgusting movie.
Ooh.
I'm thinking chaos. I'm feeling chaos there. Something. The lack of underwear indicates Slanesh.
The hair, possibly Nurgle.
Let's take a stab in the dark and say a harpy.
Harpy.
That's pretty.
Going
pretty close.
Player tonight.
Not quite, but that was definitely
Lovely
on the right track.
Maybe if they'd shaved, I could have gotten that one.
Here comes number 3.
Oh, definitely dwarfish.
Oh.
What's hot at the moment? The Fire Slayers in here today. Let's go with the Fire Slayer.
Yep. Which one in particular? We've got the guys with the axes.
They made the jump to AOS from fantasy, and that was the last I'd really paid.
Threw his hands up and walked away.
That's it. Take my bat in the ball.
Take the bat in the ball?
Yep.
Righto. So Volkite Berserker. Bit of a twin action going on here. Pretty nasty things to come up against.
With that loincloth arrangement, that was pretty much the same from front and back.
Yeah. I really wouldn't want to come up against him in a battle just quietly.
No, he's rocking too many sharp objects for my liking.
All right, here's the next one.
Here's another friend.
So I'm going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be Catachan or it's going to be the new Rambo board game.
Dave, can you share full screen?
Let's have a squiz at it, mate.
You're currently not sharing full screen.
Okay. Let me jump on that for you.
I'm going to go Catachan. Let's say it's Sly Marbo.
Now just looking at Dave. Hold on, we're having some technical difficulties.
You can just stare at my beautiful face here.
That's not a booty at all.
This one, am I?
This ugly mug.
It's like a Greater Demon of Corn. Oh no, it's Dave.
And that's actually pretty good for me at the moment.
Are you sharing the full screen?
No, this is the best I can do on this laptop, unfortunately.
Hold on,
Technical difficulties.
There we go. I think we've got it.
You got him up and running? Thanks, buddy.
There we go. You're good, man. We got it.
All right. So back to, what was it? Catachan. Was that the call?
I'm going to guess Sly Marbo.
Going something rather larger.
Just as ugly.
Is this the before shot from Jenny Craig?
The before shot from Jenny Craig. That's
Slow
brutal.
Marbo with too many donuts. All right, next. What do we got here?
Okay, first thought was going to be Nurgle, but I'm going to guess. I want to say Ghoul, but looks like there might be some wings or something around.
Oh.
Let's go with Ghoul anyway.
Go with the Ghoul. Okay. Oh, on the right track with the first guess.
Right, way off.
That is
Property
disgusting.
Viper and this awesome Nurgling.
Hey, if you've got it, flaunt it.
That's it.
Oh, look at this one. Spiky in red.
Yeah, and definitely Corn. I mean, you've got his symbol there on the back of the belt buckle there, but Bloodthirster.
He's getting close.
It's getting pretty close.
Final guesses on the Bloodthirster? Or do you want to change your mind?
Well, when you ask a question like that, of course I want to change my mind. I was hoping to just go broad enough that you guys just say, yeah, he's in the ballpark, I'll give him the point.
We're pretty ruthless with this game.
Skull Taker, was he no?
There we go. Scarbrand.
Scarbrand, no.
Wow. I do like those wings, though.
Pretty, I don't know. I feel like a Bloodthirster, a Scarbrand, they're nearly the same thing. I'm gonna go with half.
They're
I'm gonna
very similar kits.
give him a point for that one.
Oh, hello.
I'm going to do something different. I can't let everyone guess them. What do you reckon this is?
Well, it's not the booty per se, but it's
It's only the backside of the miniature.
how do you pronounce it? Skitari? Maybe.
Yeah, right track.
So it's somewhere in the Admech region. That's about as close as I can go. Some dude with a plasma gun.
Some dude with a plasma gun. Skitari, Admech.
That's
Skitari Vanguard.
pretty much
Dude, that's pretty good.
That's pretty. That's
point?
yeah, that's a point. Let's give him
Dude,
3.
that's a point for sure.
I'm happy to Bradbury this one.
Yeah, we'll go 3.
This one will be up Aaron and Brynley's Avenue, I hope.
Oh, look at that.
That's Tau. Lack of leg armor says Pathfinder.
Oh,
Ooh.
probably. No, it's not. Spy Warrior.
Oh, right.
That was deceptive.
They're virtually the same thing. They all look the same, don't they, Brynley?
They all bleed the same.
They're
Look
all
at that nose. Look at that nose. Oh.
No,
Camouflaged against a white screen.
no, it's definitely he's hiding. Hiding gets that snow. white cat in a snowstorm.
This one might be a bit. Well, hopefully you can see this. Trying to get 2 booties in one here.
2 booties in one.
Oh, mate.
Don't give too much away.
Crikey.
Oh. Out of control.
Let's go with the Emperor of Mankind. I have no idea.
That would be pretty cool. Seraphon players probably will like that idea. So the little Ripidactyl rider.
What? I actually like that. I've never seen that model yet, but that's cool.
I've never seen them actually on the table. I've seen a lot of painted up and really cool colour schemes, but I've never seen one on the table, and I don't know why. They're just cool models, and I'm playing Age of Sigmar wrong. I like cool models.
That is a cool model. Absolutely.
Last but not least, save the best till last.
Mm.
We're back to corn bottles of things. Another bloodthirster.
Demonic theme tonight.
I usually played as an Imperial player when I played 40k, so most of these are just going target, another target.
Imperial player, fuck yeah.
There's too many of those.
Never enough. It's like guardsmen.
All right, so what do you reckon, Chris?
Okay, so I'm guessing it's Chaos Corn, so something involving blood, something involving killing, water fiend or something.
Ooh.
The lovely Slaughter Brute.
Oh,
Okay.
that's hideous.
We've also probably accepted the Vortex Beast, considering they are the same kit.
Wow.
Love it. Good job.
As well. You're bringing the big guns in the last couple, dude. Tell you what.
So that's it. So what was the total score there, Brynley?
We got 3.
Got 3?
Ooh. Pretty good.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll stop presenting.
6.5 points.
There you go. Here we are. Good to go. Absolutely brilliant. That was good. That wasn't too bad. You are currently coming 3rd, right behind Gav Thorpe himself. So you should be very proud. So big achievement. I mean, I suppose.
That's awesome work.
It's not too bad. All right, man. Good job. All right. So on to news with Dave. Going to quickly cover our local events.
Can do that. We'll breeze over a few local events that we've got going on. Then we'll get kicked into the awesome digital stuff. Really, a lot of the events are set up to gear towards BrizCon at the moment, coming towards us at the end of April. So the Battle Station Toowoomba, 15th of April. War at the Gates, the 2,000 points. It's very much BrizCon prep. Check it out on Facebook, War at the Gates. Should be a fantastic event with some really cool players and some nicely painted armies. Moving around the states, I'll jump all the way to South Australia in Hove. Gobocon, anything Orky themed, I do like, being a 5th edition Orc player. There's a 1,200 point Vanguard mission style thing, again on the 15th of April with 4 rounds in a day. At the Holdfast Bay Community Centre in South Australia. So hit up Gobocon on Facebook. The players packs are there. It's all kitted out, ready to go, guys. So if you're in South Australia and you've got some free time in the middle of April, get on it. Off to WA, objective secured, have put out a lot of content this week in regards to the WACT 40K 2018. Their team challenge on the 22nd of April, South Perth Community Centre, 1,500 points. Teams of 6. It looks like it's filling up quickly, if not sold out. They're having a massive turnout for that, which is fantastic.
If it's by the same guy, it's being done by Objective Secured, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic.
Their event footage, their coverage, what they put out and do for the community out there is fantastic, and they can't recommend highly.
Big fans. If you can get along to one of their events, definitely go check it out.
Yeah, we've got to try and plan a bit of flight over there. I reckon we've got to do that.
That'd be wicked, man.
Yeah, the good guys at Irresistible Force will cover there. June 16th. I think it's their 30K event with the Eye of Horus guys who have been kicking around in the 30K scene for the last week. So I got some fantastic footage from those guys. But save the date. I think it's June 16. They've moved to the 1 day now. 30K event with some more details and players packs to come. And they're running Forsax 2 for 4 games at 1,000 points with a couple of detachments on 4x4 for a quick, fast-paced game on April 7th.
Absolutely amazing event. Their Forsax events are the thing to go to on the south side. I have so much fun every time I go. Lads at IF, like obviously big fans. We receive a lot of the prize support from them. They're absolutely great. Like we wouldn't promote them the way we did if we didn't think they were a great group of people. And like their store is amazing. The products that they stock are really, really high quality. They've got everything you need. Great place to go to. Definitely go check them out. One of the best places on the south side.
Yeah, and they're open till late on the weeknights, which is fantastic. So I can duck over there after work.
No, man. Go check them out. Look, don't take our word for it. Actually, go down and check out Irresistible Force. Let's go. Pop your head in and have a chat with some of the lads there. They are the nicest group of people that you'll ever meet.
They are. Got about a few more that are coming in. Again, it's mainly BrizCon. So Bris Vegas Open Facebook group's been set up for tracking the AOS event and participation. Guys, BrizCon, check it out. There's more info than life itself actually on there. If you're keen on attending, register now. Get your tickets, secure them, because a lot of them, I think the AOS is well above 30 or 40 players. It's basically going to be capped out by the sounds of it. Support looks to be fantastic. I'm keen on attending. The ADF Wargaming Association, I've got the details for Anzac Cup 2018 on 21st, 22nd of April in Canberra. There's probably nothing that these guys don't set up for that 2 days. I mean, 40K Heresy, Infinity, X-Wing. They're up the guts. Armoured Digital. You're going to be there, Chris?
Yep, we're going to be doing demos still.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, it'll be into we'll have finished our Kickstarter by that stage. We'll be into our pre-orders phase.
Fantastic. That'll be good to get some promo out of there. So we're keen to have a chat to you in about 5 minutes, if that. Sydney Slaughter, hosted by the Mortally Wounded guys at Club Ashfield on the 9th and 10th of June. 2K points is where it's at for match play, and they've got custom missions set up there. So that should be a pretty cool event. I love seeing events popping up with the custom mission scenarios and getting feedback from the community on them, which is awesome. We've also got, it's all about AOS in the events. A lot have popped up thanks to everyone who has been sending through event details in the last couple of days and tonight. Love seeing more AOS events popping up. Bendigo in Victoria, 9th and 10th of June. We've got some pretty key dates here. Everyone seems to be doing events on the 15th, the 21st, the 9th and 10th. So there's plenty of stuff to do. Good weekend gaming, 5 games across the 2 days. These guys, 2K points, welcoming Forge World. So I'm keen to see anyone who's attending there to get some photos to see if any of the Forge World units gets a run in the Age of Sigmar scene. And it is a fully painted event. So send us some pics if you guys attend those events. I'm keen because I don't tend to see too many Forge World models sort of be allowed or hit the tabletop. So it's always good to see a good chunk of resin. All right, was that Scotty?
So we can put them up next week. They send some photos in, and
yeah, if anyone's got any preparation they're doing, send some prep through. We're keen to see works in progress. I mean, this is on the 9th and 10th of June. So there's plenty of time to get prep work in. So if anyone's got models they're preparing, paint works, the whole lot, send them in. We're keen to have a look. And I think that basically wraps me up for events at the moment. There'll be a few more we'll cover on next week. Pretty keen to kick on with Armoured Digital myself. I've sort of been reading up on it over the last few days and seeing all the bits and pieces come out, the little teaser video kick out and sneak up there in front of our faces, and the rule set looks pretty awesome.
And with that beautiful segue by David, we will kick into tonight's mag segment. We're talking to Mr. Chris himself, who is the creator of the upcoming Kickstarter, Armoured Digital. Scotty is going to be conducting a very interesting interview. I hope you guys all tune in. Scotty, take it away.
Cool. So basically, I was reading through the rules the last couple of days, and what I've picked up is this is a very different type of tabletop game. I've myself thought it was very, very similar to a Command and Conquer style of game, but tabletop. There's some great rules in there. There's a lot of different bits that have perked my interest, and we can go through some of those later. But I just want to go with some basics first. Like, where did this idea come from, and how did you, and why did you want to start this?
To be honest, it's that long ago that I can't remember exactly what the spark was that got it going. But you just sort of start grabbing ideas from a few different places. And I was reading a lot of post-apocalyptic fiction, and this game is set in sort of a high-tech post-apocalyptic environment. So it's a bit different to your zombies or your virus type things. Mm-hmm. This one, there was a war between humans and AI that basically ground down into a stalemate, and all the people that were soldiers on the human side, the digipaths. So these are people with the specialized brain structure that allows them to reprogram computers. Yeah. They just think it, the computer does it type of thing. That idea sort of came in with all this post-apocalyptic stuff. And then I was asked by another games company that I was helping with the rules for to come and write them a new game. So I started working on it. That fell through, but then I had a new game to go on market and managed to have a chat to a great publisher by the name of Mark Rapson for Wordforge Games. And he agreed to take it on. So, yeah, from there we've just been developing, working at it. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, how long have you been in development? Like, up until now, how long has this taken you?
So it's been the original idea I started writing down probably about 2 years ago, and then got serious about it 6 months later. So about 18 months ago, that's when I started shopping it around and got the publishing deal. And for the last 12 months, it's just been constantly tweaking and playtesting, making sure everything's on the level. I'm sure we'll get to this a bit later, but this is a game that doesn't have any points values. So the idea is that all of the different tanks, even though they've got a different role, they've got to have the same rough power level. All of the commanders, same thing. Different roles, different stats, same power level. Same with the orders card. So that's taken a lot of work to try and make sure that nothing's going to stand out and overpower everything else.
OP compared to something else.
Yeah.
So
we've all seen Codex creep. We don't want any of that.
Oh yeah. And that was sort of going to be leading into my next question. Like, what difficulties have you faced? Bringing in your own game system and developing your own game system.
Well, two things. Firstly, everything at the moment seems to be going around and grabbing out of movies or computer games, your Fallout, your Rambo board game, your Terminator, AVP, all these sorts of things. It's all coming out of all of these existing IPs. So saying, hey, check me out, I've got a completely new system with a new backstory, it gets pretty difficult to rise above the clamour.
Mm.
The other thing that's been a difficulty for me has probably been the communication. I mean, this is a real product of the internet age sort of game. Mm-hmm. My miniatures publisher is in the UK. The 3D modeler for the game is in the US, in California. I've got artists in Japan, Poland, Italy, France, UK, US. Trying to herd these cats and make this whole thing has been I haven't lost any hair yet, but it's got to be going that way.
Absolutely, and that's also sort of rolled into my next question, which is really cool. Was design problems?
Must be psychic, yeah.
Must be. So you're saying, like, because you've had so many people around, that's been a definite problem in designing and ironing out what you want and how you want it?
Yeah. I mean, it's been good and bad because you sort of give people a bit of room to run and they can, if they're really engaged with the project, they'll come back and they'll throw a new idea at you and you sort of go, wow, I hadn't thought about that. But, it brings a lot of good things. At the same time, trying to coordinate all these different cultures, different time zones is just, it's been a bit ridiculous. Fortunately, though, more on the game design side of the house, I've been blessed with a few people here locally who have been fantastic playtesters, and the people with the real mindset that I love your game, I'm going to go and break it. And that is just gold dust for a developer like myself. You know, people that come in and say, I think this rule is overpowered. I'm going to do everything in my power to min-max and just make it ridiculous on you.
Yeah. And that's what you want. You want people who, like, once you give it to them, but they break it. And so you've got, you know, that opportunity to fix it before it goes out to the wider community. Absolutely. So
and my chief playtester I've actually immortalised by, he's a very defensive player. So I've built a commander card based just around him and his defensive play. So sort of immortalised him in the game.
Absolutely. So if you don't mind from here, can we go through the game as a whole?
Yeah, sure.
So, you know, use normal D6, nothing special dice-wise. Run us through just quickly, you know, the setup and, you know, the steps to play and, you know, go from there.
Sure. So first of all, we'll go through force selection. As I said before, there's no points values. All you simply do is you start by saying, how big a game do we want to play? And we say 1 commander, 2 commander, 3 commander. That's basically how big it is. If you think of a 1 commander as like a 500 to 750 point game in 40k thereabouts, that's roughly what we're talking about. It is a skirmish game, so that means that you'll have maybe half a dozen miniatures on your side of the table. Once you've decided how big it's going to be, you choose a commander and a command vehicle, and then you customize it. So this little fella here, this is the Centaur command vehicle.
Yep.
That's the only option we have available at this stage, but once we hit some stretch goals, there's a few more that have been developed, but we don't yet have a model for. Once you've got that, you've even got the ability to go and customize a bit. So there's a big slot in the roof there where you can go and stick a turret of some sort or a subsystem. So command vehicle, very important to be able to communicate with all your drones. So you can go and slot in a little comms node.
Cool.
Or if you want to fire its missiles indirect, using a guided missile card, you can go and put a little sensor station in there. Once you've done that, you then go and choose your production unit. We've got one of those available, more to come. Your logistics units. So you can choose 2 of these little transports to go and grab the resources.
Yep.
And then you choose your combat tanks. So at the moment, the starter set comes with sort of 3 different tanks, your scissors, your paper, and your rock, if you will. One being an artillery tank, one a raider tank, and one sort of a long-range main battle tank. So once you've got your forces selected, if it's a 1 commander game, you get a 4x4 table and you plonk right in the center there an automated mine. And I've got here it is. So this comes in the 2-player starter set, this automated mine, and you whack that down in the center, and that's sort of the feature that both sides are fighting over.
That's basically the collector of resources, is that right?
Yeah. So this is sort of the tip of the iceberg, if you will. Underneath this, there's a whole big drone mine that's going and just chewing up as much resources as it can and spitting them out for anyone to use.
So
yeah.
No, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So once you've got that down, players then basically alternate placing terrain on the table. We've got a very rough guide as to what to play. So we say 2 to 4 pieces of terrain per sector. Each sector is 2 foot by 2 foot. So that way you've got a table coverage of around about 50%.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the
not too much to start
creating
the whole table itself.
Yeah. As per, like, we don't have any close combat units, but as per normal games, some units will benefit from open fields of fire. Some units will benefit from more cover. Okay, so that's basically how you get set up. Once you've got the table done, you then place your determine your sector by rolling a d6, and then place your command vehicle in that sector. All of your guys are then placed within communications range of that command vehicle. But you can daisy chain off one or another, just like you.
That's a comms chain, isn't it? They have to be within a certain distance to still reciprocate that comms chain.
Yeah. So for a standard command vehicle, for example, you've got a 16-inch bubble that you can play with, and then if you want to place somebody outside that 16-inch bubble, you just go off the next unit's comm stat and so on. So some vehicles have more powerful comms, some vehicles have less powerful comms. Cool.
So then from there, you've got you can look into starting the game. So, the factions is what I wanted to go back to. So you've got 6 factions.
Yeah.
And then each faction has its own bonus and then a tactic attached to it to sort of sway the game in their favor, I would say.
Yeah. So the 6 factions, all of the factions use the same units. So there's no game balance issues of, oh, these guys get this super overpowered unit, these guys don't. Everyone gets the same units to play with. What you do is you put a different commander in your command vehicle, and that gives you access to those special rules. So each of the 6 factions give you one bonus, as you said. So that's something like, say, the Bushi, who are based on sort of a samurai aesthetic. They get a +1 to hit with all of their command vehicles' weapons. Then there's a tactic, which is where you can trade a couple of your stats in for something else. So, for example, you might lower your surprise for 1 turn, but increase your planning. Or you might lower your combat scores and increase your logistics scores. So just give a bit of a boost in that 1 turn that you really need to make something happen. And the final thing you do is you actually change your victory conditions. So
all that as well, yeah.
So normally it's a best 2 out of 3. You're sort of playing for ground, you're playing for kills, and you're playing for whoever can unseat the other commander the most amount of times. And on top of that, you have your faction victory condition, so you can sort of get a 4th point there as well, and then that might be the edge that you need to be able to beat your opponent.
So when you're talking about unseating your commander, is that's the eject part of the rule set where he can jump out, or his vehicle explodes or whatever, gets destroyed, and then he can jump out and then move to another command vehicle, as we spoke about before, whether it be your own or your opponent's, which was a little bit of a throwback for you, but go into that a little bit too, yeah.
Yeah, the idea is basically when we first started playing the game, it was game over as soon as your command vehicle was destroyed, presumably with the smoking corpse of your commander inside.
Yeah.
But as we got playing, it came to the point where you sort of go, well, that's not really a fun way to play. So instead we decided to put everyone in an ejection harness. So mech warrior style, when your command vehicle's destroyed, boom, out you go up the top hatch.
Yep.
And you roll 2d6, and that's your range in inches that you can sort of guide your parachute back down to earth. And after that, you're one little guy on foot, guy or girl on foot, running around basically trying to avoid being either shot or run over by enemy tanks. And if the enemy command vehicle, for example, tries to run you over, you can go and do a sneaky thing where you try and punch the eject code into the side of the car, and you shoot them out their own top hatch and take their vehicle over from them.
Oh, so you actually eject another commander to swap with as well?
Yes.
Ah, there we go.
You can get a lift from your own. If you've got a multi-commander game, you can get a lift from your own friendlies and sort of use their vehicle to your benefit. But I did have one situation in a demo game where the guy sort of gave me the sly smile, drove his command vehicle towards me, got it blown up, ejected out the top hatch, and then measured and went, I'm going to land on your command vehicle. And he did exactly that. He came up, punched in the code, shot me out of my own vehicle and took it right from the middle of my force.
Damn. So from there, with the production of units, how do it's not the tanks, but you can actually produce buildings as well? Yeah,
so I've got the model here for the mobile factory. This is the Wombat mobile factory. This is what produces all of your mobile vehicles. So cunningly enough, into the flatbed of this miniature, you can fit anything that it can produce. However, if you want to be able to build buildings as well, let me just grab it out. So this is in play testing at the moment. This is not one of the units in the starter set. This is one of our proposed stretch goals. This little guy who does construction and repair can build little bunkers, or if you lose your production facility, you can build a quick assembly rig on the ground to make something happen there.
So those units that are produced, are they, I read about unowned units. Are they unowned units, or do they, if you make it, is that yours? And where does the unowned units concept come into the game itself?
So sometimes you can have units that are basically, there's no sort of identity memory in them. They're just sitting there inert, waiting for commands. These ones can be captured. So we've got, we'll come back to the orders system in a sec, but if you play a capture order on an unowned unit, basically you reprogram it, reboot it, make it yours. You've got another card called Core Wipe. So you can actually wipe the memory of an enemy unit in combat and make it basically shut down so it's easy to be captured by somebody else. However, if you've got a free command node, when you produce a unit, it rolls out and it's straight into your arsenal ready to play. Cool.
So then go back to you're saying the command.
Yeah. So the orders, and I'll caveat this by saying these are my dodgy prototypes. So the final ones are much nicer.
Anything that we can see is better than nothing. So yeah, absolutely.
So basically, a deck of cards is what you use to play the game. Normally, like in a game of 40k with I Go, you go, all of your units get to move, and then all your units get to shoot. Something like, say, a Warzone Resurrection or similar sort of alternating activation games like Bolt Action. you'll be able to activate a unit and it's got a certain number of actions or a certain type of thing it can do. In this game, we don't do that. Instead, it's all about the attention span and focus of your commander. So you select out of your deck a little hand of orders cards, and that's what you use to actually play your miniatures. Mm-hmm. So if you want to move one of your units, you have to grab something like the move order card, which I've got in here somewhere. If you
are they randomly drawn, or are they selected?
No, they're selected. So basically, this deck that you choose and bring to the table, that's your toolkit. Right. And then every turn you roll against your planning skill to see how many cards you get. So usually you're going to get somewhere between 4 and 6 cards each turn. And once you know that, you choose your hand out of these, and it starts off with basics like move and shoot. Then you can go up to more advanced ones where you might, instead of a shoot, you might play a rapid fire, where you get more shots, but less range, less accuracy. Or you might have indirect fire, where you get your artillery unit to actually fire without line of sight, as long as it's got somebody else feeding its data back to the target. And then you've got some weird and wonderful ones. I mentioned capture and core wipe. You can also do things like system crash, where you actually crash the CPU of an enemy drone. So it basically shuts down in the middle of combat and has to reboot. You can do things like deploy viruses. You can even play things where you muck around with the other commander's attention span, where you taunt them, or you disrupt their train of thought and make them drop a couple of orders. So yeah, there's a full spectrum of everything in there, from military to electronic warfare type of orders that you can play.
Cool. So the unit special traits, is that does that come in with your cards as well, or where does that sit into it?
Yeah, it does. So we've got 2 types of traits. Basically, these are your special rules, if you will. You've got hardwired ones, which means that you've got a passive bonus. So something like this little guy here, the Rhino, he has a passive bonus called Resilient, which means that normally when you take damage, it reduces your ability to save against further hits. This guy, he's just going to keep rolling all these dice every single time because he's got enough redundant systems in there. Mm-hmm. Other ones will simply allow you to do something. So the artillery that I mentioned to you before, the Elephant artillery tank, this little guy basically allows you to play things like indirect fire. At the bottom of that orders card, it says, restricted to this particular weapon type. With some of the, once we get outside the core deck, if you purchase individual units, you also get a couple of extra cards with them, and those are usually tied into whatever the unit's carrying. So the Wolf tank here, for example, has plasma weaponry, and it comes with a card called Plasma Blast, which can only be played by any unit that has plasma weaponry.
Cool. Now, one factor of this game that I've really loved and sort of picked my ears up was the falling and crashing. Now, you can run vehicles off cliffs, you can run over your commander, you can, push vehicles into other vehicles to basically destroy them. How does that work? Because that's a really cool, sort of side note to the whole game, but something that I'm sort of, pretty keen on.
I mean, there's all of these guys, except for your command vehicle, are completely without crew. They're all drones. So you might as well go and run them into things. They're all disposable. And you can use them to basically crash into the enemy. Basically, it's like ramming. Or if you happen to drive off a high place and then fall on top of something, then you'll also cause damage to both yourself and it. Now, at first, that it might seem like a fairly standard thing. You've got vehicles, they can ram, they can do that in most games. In this particular game, it's something that allows you, if say you've taken enough firepower damage that your weapon's more or less useless, you can then take your unit and ram it in the enemy. If you wanted to free up a slot so you can build a new unit, you can ram your guy into another enemy and try and destroy your own unit in the same process. Something else you can do, these logistic units, they get their own little phase where they try and grab the resources and race back to the factory with those. Mm-hmm. However, I've seen some sneaky commanders use them as spotting for artillery, as comms nodes, and of course, the last turn of the game tends to turn into a bit of a demolition derby where these things, just like automated missiles, go seeking the enemy and bang, straight in.
Start smashing into people.
Yep.
And so the terrain is actually a big part of the game as well. Like you were just saying, like there's different types of terrain and they affect the movement of the vehicles differently and a lot of other things. So go through that for us and just bring that.
Yeah, sure. Bring that out. So terrain, when we're using it for cover, it's all true line of sight. None of this mucking around saying, oh, is it this type, is it that type? That's saying it's just true line of sight. When you try and move through it, though, that's when you classify terrain as one of basically 3 types if it's going to be difficult terrain. You've got obstacles. So if we're talking about rocks or trees or anything that a vehicle has to dodge in between, that's obstacles. You've got soft, so sand, snow, mud, any of that sort of stuff you might sink into. Very dangerous for a tank. Not really dangerous at all for a hovercraft, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got extreme terrain. So we were talking about, big steep slopes, broken ground, that sort of stuff where you have to cross over all of that. That can also be different for different types of vehicles.
Just while these lads are talking, we're actually going to be rolling some of the pictures of this amazing game just in the background. So if you guys are watching at home, you guys can see while they're talking some of the cool artwork and some of the cool miniatures that they've been running through. We'll just run it for a few minutes. So you guys can see some of the amazing, this is some really cool, high quality product that you guys have been running through. So I'm pretty sure I'm sharing to all now. Then to everyone. There you go. You guys go nuts.
There we go. Cool. All right. So keep going with the terrain.
Yeah. So I mentioned tanks and hovercraft. There are actually rules in there for tanks for insect-like walkers with 6 or 8 legs, for hovercraft, for aircraft, and each of them treat terrain differently. Mm-hmm. So tanks, for example, they can move through obstacles fairly easily, but they can't move through soft terrain with any degree of honesty that you're going to make it through the other side. Whereas a hovercraft, it can blitz through that soft terrain easily. As soon as it has to slow down and navigate through obstacles, it's in real trouble. It's going to really slow it down. Whenever you hit terrain, obviously it will reduce your movement, but there's also a chance that when you roll into it, you're going to throw a track and you actually suffer what's called mobility damage. So every time you take a token of mobility damage, it reduces your stat by 1 until eventually you're basically an inert pillbox on the tabletop.
So that's where the mobility factor and the mobility stat come into it in line with the terrain then?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's all the questions that I've got for you at the moment. So yeah, so when does this release and what are we looking for stretch goals and that sort of stuff?
So this releases to Kickstarter. So the Kickstarter campaign kicks off at 8 o'clock GMT on the 27th. So our time, that's about 6 to 7 a.m., depending where you are in Australia, on Wednesday the 28th. The initial thing that we're bringing to Kickstarter is what we call a 2-player starter set. So we're talking about 13 miniatures. That's a automated mine and 2 sets of 6 miniatures with your command vehicle, mobile factory, transport, and 3 combat tanks.
Mm-hmm.
This is enough to get you off and running for a full 2-player game, or if you really want to be greedy and keep it all for yourself, you can do that too. After that, we've got add-ons as well. So if you wanted to buy any of those vehicles individually, they'll be available. And after that, we'll start releasing our stretch goals. Now, we don't know how well this is going to do straight out of the gate. As I said, it's we're taking a bit of a punt because there's no TV show or movie backing this one up. This is all a new IP. But we do have things like the Viper stealth tank that's been play-tested, ready to go. We've got things like the Jackal scout tank that can sit behind buildings with its radars and spot for artillery.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Meerkat, which is an electronic warfare vehicle with a jamming array, so you can really mess with the enemy's comms. And one of my favourites, the Cheetah, which I can only describe as a suicidal rocket sled. Massive firepower, plenty of speed, but you turn guns on it and it just dissolves in a breeze, basically.
Yeah, that sounds like my preferred weapon of choice.
Yeah. So in the box itself, are the miniatures they pre-painted or are they free to us to prime base code whatever and then go nuts with whatever we want?
Yeah, so they're going to be updated.
Yeah.
And what we're looking to do is have half the miniatures dyed slightly in one colour, half dyed in the other. So that way, if you want to just play bare bones out of the box, you're good to go. If you want to paint them up, as you can see from some of the pictures up there, we've got some of the professionally painted ones. You can go nuts. And the good thing too is that the game is based around a situation where all of these digipaths are basically deciding their own thing. So even if they're in a faction, they'll make their own choices as to colour scheme. You could go the old 80s G.I. Joe sort of tiger stripes on them. You can go the sort of digital camo. You can go sort of realistic camouflage.
Maybe some Ozcam.
Yeah, you can go that. Ozcam with speed stripes.
With scratch marks and bent bins.
It's not really used until it's all beaten up, is it?
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Cool. So I think we've gone into a decent amount of detail to give the viewers a decent idea on getting their hands on this, and it like I said, we've been reading through not only the press release but the rules, and we've had a look at it over the last week or so, and this looks like a really interesting, quick, but still strategically, decent game. So you're not, you know, like I said, it's a skirmish. It's going to be quick, and you're going to love it.
I like how it's small. It's nice.
Yeah, it's all on your.
I wish I had a game with 6 miniatures.
One of the things I should point out, though, is that this game is not designed so that, you know, you've got 6 miniatures aside, they all die within 10 minutes and that's it, game over. This is one of those games that, you know, it's like one of those really tight footy matches where it can go back and forward and back and forward. You know, you might be taking in the pants one turn and then you turn around and pull off a brilliant order and build a couple of units and you're back in the game type of thing. But I should point out too that I don't get enough gaming time. I know we all say that these days, but this is the sort of game that you can, if you've played other war games, by the end of turn 1, in every demo game I've played, you know how to play this game. It's that simple to pick up the basics. At the same time, though, you've got to choose, okay, what units do I take? What orders do I choose? What drones do I give them to? What are my targets? When am I going to play them during the turn? There's all these layers of strategy, so there are a lot of different ways that you can play it, and there's never really one way that's just going to dominate over everything else. You know, you can choose to try and just go electronic warfare and capture the enemy's units and system crash them. Or you might go all range combat and sit back with rhinos and elephants and just blast the enemy to pieces.
Gunline style, yeah.
Yeah. Or you might go my way and just go completely up the guts, lots of smoke with all your rhinos and raiders and, your wolves and your raiders and that sort of stuff, and just try and cut the heart out of the enemy by turn 3. And usually die horribly in the attempt, but you put them on their back feet.
At least you had fun while you're trying to do it, though.
That's it. And you can throw those tanks away and then just build something else and back them up.
I love it. I love it how you can actively create units mid-game. I think that's brilliant. That's phenomenal.
I'm seeing we're planning for organised play and all that sort of stuff, so I'm seeing a situation in the future where you rock up to a tournament, the enemy's got all aircraft and you've got nothing to answer it. All you have to do is change up your blueprints and say, all right, I'm going to grab an anti-aircraft tank and I'm going to start building those to replace the units I lose. The
units that you're losing in game, so try and give you a better.
Have you guys got aircraft? Have you guys got aircraft? Did I miss something?
Yeah, so there's aircraft in the rules. We don't have any models for them yet because we've been building just on the drone tanks. Yeah, aircraft, hovercraft, walkers, all that sort of stuff are going to be in it as well.
Oh, dude, this is going to be so good. Okay, so where can we go to get some juicy information on this fantastic Kickstarter?
So if you're on Facebook, you can jump on our Facebook page. Just look up Armoured Digital Game. Same thing if you're on Twitter, we're on there as well. Wordforge Games is the publisher. They're over in the UK, so if you jump on their website, you can go there. The best place until the Kickstarter goes live is our mailing list. So if you jump on our mailing list, you get a whole batch of information about the game, and we'll keep you updated as we progress towards the Kickstarter. But given that it's only a day and a half away, just jump on there once the Kickstarter is live. Search it up on the main page, and you should be able to find us.
Well, we've got all the links in the bottom of the video once we finish, and hopefully you guys have a look and get into it. But yeah,
man, it's looking amazing.
Sorry. One other thing I should point out, because I'm trying to demo this game internationally, which is a bit hard from our fair country here, as you guys well know, we do have an online demo tool as well. So anyone that has a copy of Tabletop Simulator on Steam, we have links on our Facebook page and in our emails. You can go and get a free mod for Tabletop Simulator to be able to play Armoured Digital online. So you can actually wrap your head around with the real cards, the real miniatures, everything there on the table, and see how it works.
Oh man, that's amazing. That is technology at its finest.
Absolutely.
I can't. Oh man, drones. It's gonna be so good. I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be a very interesting Kickstarter. I was so happy when you reached out to us. Chris actually got in contact with us on our AUSHAMMER page. I think, was it you? Yeah, it was you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Got in contact with us and just started telling us about this amazing game. We're just like, yeah, let's have you on. This is amazing. This is really cool. This is what we want. Everyone else who's got a Kickstarter and is interested in sharing it, by all means, hit us up. Absolutely. Exactly what Chris has done. We'd love to hear from you. As you can see, we get very excited about our plastic miniatures, and we love this shit.
Resin in this case, I should say.
Oh, there we go. Resin.
Oh, so it's resin heroin, not plastic crack.
Yeah. Oh. Actually, if anyone's picked up Devil's Run by any chance, that's another product that Wordforge Games produce. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's sort of a Mad Max style rolling road miniatures board game. But if anyone has a look at the Devil's Run miniatures, it will give you an idea of just the the real fidelity and the high quality of the stuff that they put out. It's one of the reasons I actually reached out to Wordforge as the publisher in the first place.
I mean, I'm really excited to seeing this come through as a Kickstarter. It's going to be very, very, very exciting. I'll probably be looking to make a pledge myself. I'm sure Scotty's going to Scotty's going to get in on it. Sounds like something that we can sit down and play over a quick evening. Dave, did you have any questions for our guest?
Mate, I've just been making a note in my diary and a reminder to go Wednesday. Get on it. I want to get my hands on this. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Sounds like
a cool game.
BrizCon next year and play you guys in person.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'll definitely come down to BrizCon. By the way, we're going to be at BrizCon this year. We're going to have a store. We're going to be doing a live cast. I don't know how well it's going to go. It's going to be should be entertaining. Should be a little bit crazy. Yeah, man, that's gonna be fun. That's actually gonna be fun. We'll be there. We'll be at the Irresistible Force stand before things go to plan, and we'll be bugging them and abusing everyone else. So, being the typical belligerent Aussies we are.
Absolutely.
This is just a bit of a shameless plug too. Mentioned before the Anzac Cup. I'll be there doing demos. So if anyone wants to drop into Canberra, it's easy to do. But anyone who's down in Melbourne as well, over the Easter long weekend, there's a convention on called Conquest. I'll be there all weekend and doing demos of Armoured Digital that whole time. So feel free to pop in.
I think we've got a fellow down that way. We might get him to do some coverage of that event while we're down there. Maybe he'll drop in and say hi. We'll see if we can get on to Mark. Usually listens in, so see how that goes. Did anyone else have anything else, or do you want me to take us out?
Oh, you can take us out, Bryn. I think I'm done. But yeah, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us and giving us the wrap on Armoured Digital, because it looks like a really well thought out, really well planned game. So
thanks, guys. Been a pleasure being here.
Yeah,
no worries.
Right, everyone. So that's been episode 26, an absolutely fantastic episode. We were joined by the amazing Chris Reynolds of Armoured Digital himself, who talked to us about an absolutely amazing game. The interview started about 30-40 minutes ago, so if you guys get to this point and if you guys somehow missed it, just backtrack a bit and go check it out. Pretty amazing about drones. Hell yeah, lots of drones and classic crack. Too exciting. Join us again next week. It's going to be pretty exciting. For all of you who subscribe, keep subscribing. We do it for you. For those of you who like our Facebook and Twitter page, again, thank you. Tell your friends to do it as well. We're going to be running some really cool competitions. We're actually going to be supporting one of the largest Facebook pages in the very, very near future, the Warhammer 40,000 page. So it should be good. From all of us at AUSHAMMER, thank you very much. It's been an absolute blast. And I'll take us off.
Catch you later, guys.
Has anyone seen Ryan? It's been really quiet tonight.
I wonder where he is.
Yeah, I wonder where he's gone.
He was in chat somewhere, I think. There was a mystical Ryan, but
I don't know.
Much like a unicorn, really.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Hard to say.
All right.
I'll turn up.